The first person everyone expected to run away was the one who ran straight toward danger. While trained security guards froze for a single terrifying second, a tired single father carrying grocery bags made a decision that would change 2 lives forever. The woman who had laughed at him only moments before would soon discover that courage cannot be measured by wealth, expensive clothes, or social status. If you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances can change lives, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps our community continue sharing stories that remind us there is still goodness in the world. Every weekday morning, Graham Foster followed the same routine. He dropped his 8-year-old daughter, Hazel, at school before working long hours as a maintenance technician in downtown Portland. 3 years earlier, he had lost his wife to a sudden illness, leaving him to raise Hazel alone while struggling to pay rent, school expenses, and medical bills that seemed impossible to escape. His clothes were always clean but worn, his shoes showed signs of endless walking, and the exhaustion in his eyes revealed countless sleepless nights. Yet everyone who truly knew Graham understood that beneath the quiet sadness lived a man whose greatest wealth was his love for his daughter. Only a few blocks away, Celeste Whitmore stepped from a shining luxury car surrounded by attention. She had built one of the country's fastest-growing technology companies and had become one of the youngest billionaires in America. Success had given her confidence, but it had also surrounded her with people who praised everything she did. Her personal bodyguard, Nolan Briggs, remained only a few steps behind, carefully watching the busy sidewalk as reporters and business partners waited near the entrance of a charity luncheon. As Graham crossed the street carrying a bag filled with groceries and school supplies for Hazel, one of the paper handles suddenly ripped apart. Apples, notebooks, and a small stuffed rabbit rolled across the sidewalk. Embarrassed, Graham quickly knelt to gather everything before people stepped on his daughter's favorite toy. Celeste glanced toward the scene, smiled with quiet amusement, and shook her head. She made a careless remark about how some people simply looked defeated by life. Several nearby guests laughed politely, while Nolan remained silent, sensing that the comment was unnecessarily cruel. Graham heard the laughter but chose not to respond. Years of hardship had taught him that dignity sometimes meant walking away instead of arguing. As Celeste continued toward the building, something unexpected happened. A large delivery truck lost control after another vehicle suddenly cut across its path. The truck's brakes screamed across the pavement as it sped toward the crowded entrance. Panic spread instantly. Guests scattered in different directions. Nolan reacted immediately, trying to pull Celeste away, but the polished stone beneath them had become slippery from water spilling across the sidewalk. She lost her balance and fell directly into the truck's path. Without stopping to think, Graham dropped everything and sprinted forward. Ignoring the danger, he reached Celeste just before the truck crashed through a decorative barrier. Using every bit of strength he possessed, he pushed her clear of the impact while shielding her with his own body. The heavy metal railing struck Graham across the shoulder, throwing him painfully onto the pavement. The truck finally came to a halt only a few feet away as terrified witnesses stood frozen in disbelief. For several long moments, the only sounds were distant sirens and frightened breathing. Celeste slowly opened her eyes and realized she was alive because the man she had mocked had risked everything for someone who had shown him no kindness. Graham struggled to sit up despite the sharp pain in his injured shoulder. His first question was not about himself but whether everyone else was safe. Nolan helped emergency workers reach Graham, deeply moved by the father's incredible courage. At the hospital, doctors confirmed Graham's injuries would heal with time, although he would be unable to work for several weeks. When Hazel arrived after school, she rushed into her father's arms with tears filling her eyes. She had always believed her father was the strongest person in the world, but seeing him injured frightened her deeply. Graham smiled through the pain and gently reminded her that helping others was always the right choice, even when it was difficult. Celeste could not forget what had happened. For the first time in many years, she saw beyond expensive suits and successful business deals. She realized she had judged a man entirely by appearances while failing to recognize the extraordinary character hidden beneath ordinary clothes. Her wealth had protected her from many hardships, but it had also quietly built walls around her heart. Over the following weeks, Celeste visited Graham and Hazel several times. She discovered a small apartment filled not with luxury but with warmth, laughter, handwritten school drawings, and memories of a family determined to keep moving forward despite loss. Graham never asked for money or favors. He simply appreciated that someone had taken the time to visit. Watching Hazel proudly describe her dreams of becoming a veterinarian reminded Celeste that true success was measured not by bank accounts but by the lives we influence with kindness. Determined to make things right, Celeste quietly paid off Graham's medical expenses and arranged for him to receive a promotion at the company responsible for maintaining several of her office buildings. She insisted that the opportunity be based on his outstanding work record rather than the heroic rescue. Graham accepted only after learning he had genuinely earned the position. His pride mattered more to him than any gift. Months later, Graham's life looked very different. Financial stress no longer controlled every decision. Hazel had a brighter future ahead, and Graham continued treating everyone with the same quiet compassion that had always defined him. Celeste also changed. She became known not only for building successful businesses but for supporting struggling single parents, creating scholarship programs for their children, and encouraging her company to value humility as much as achievement. People often asked Celeste what had inspired such a dramatic transformation. She never spoke about stock prices or business victories. Instead, she remembered the exhausted single father who had every reason to ignore her after being humiliated, yet chose compassion over resentment. His courage became the lesson that reshaped her life forever. Before this story ends, take a moment to leave a meaningful comment and tell us what you believe is the greatest strength a person can have: kindness, courage, forgiveness, or humility. Your thoughts may encourage someone who truly needs hope today. As Graham watched Hazel laugh freely in a nearby park on a bright afternoon, he understood that even the deepest pain could lead to unexpected blessings when people refused to let bitterness control their hearts. Celeste stood quietly nearby, grateful for the second chance she had been given to become a better person. Neither wealth nor hardship had defined their futures. Their choices had. Sometimes the greatest heroes are not the richest, the strongest, or the most famous. They are ordinary people who choose love over pride and compassion over judgment when it matters most. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. May this story remind you that one act of kindness can change a life, one moment of forgiveness can heal a wounded heart, and one brave decision can inspire hope for generations to come.